Hi team, Coach Chicken Legs here to help personal trainers and coaches improve their programming. Now, when you look at sports athletes and you look at sports over a term, most sports will fall into seasonal training. Now, what do I mean by seasonal training? I mean that they have an on-season and an off-season, okay? Not all sports have this, so sports like fighting don't have an on-season and an off-season, but they do have a fight night, rest, fight night. But for most sports, you're gonna have a time that the sport is on, they're training, and a sport that they're recovering and developing skills. So to save you a bit of time, let me tell you how to program for sports-specific coaching. Now, when a client or when a athlete is on season, your job is to offset all the injuries that are going to develop and strengthen the muscles they're not using. What does that mean? It means that if you've got a javelin thrower, you don't need to strengthen the movement of the javelin throw, because since they're an athlete in that space, they're going to spend most of their time doing that movement. I don't need more of that. I need to offset the amount of damage that will do long term. I'm trying to improve the client's capacity to do that movement. And I do that by strengthening the muscles they're not using and rehabbing the muscles that they are. If you like this content, check us out on any of the social medias, YouTube's, Facebook, Instagram. Leave likes, leave comments, or message us directly if you want to get in contact with any of the coaches to have a look at your own program or to invest in some of the mentor opportunities that we have. Okay, so stretching, passive recovery, active recovery. I might work with some TheraBands. I might do something to help bring the strength back this way as they're doing the thousands of reps this way. Now, when they're off season, so they're no longer throwing, what I'm doing is I'm making sure they're not losing that strength that is the throw of the javelin, and I'm also now introducing new skills. So what does that mean? It means that I'm never going to teach a client new skills when they're on season, okay? No point. It's more about getting the fitness and the athleticism up to snuff. We should have done all the prep work long before the season. So if we think in the terms of fighting, I spend my off season making sure my client, let's say it's a jiu-jitsu fighter, teaching them the new skills they're going to use for competition season at the end of the year. I spend maybe 6 months doing that. So it's all about making sure they don't lose their strength, incorporating cognitively challenging movements so they have the time to learn them. I'm not pumping them with hard, oppressive workouts whilst they're still trying to learn new skills. We then move to pre-season for a jiu-jitsu athlete or a fighter, which is about getting their fitness up to snuff. So now that they're strong enough and they know their skills, I'm going to ramp them up as far as intensity to match competition level. This is the same in football. I might have spent the last couple of months just getting my boys' skills up, and now I'm ramping up the training to try to match competition. I want their health and fitness up to snuff. This is not the time to teach them skills. We've done that. Now it's about their health and how well they perform. Then when we move to season, when we move to on competition, on the fight night, whatever it is, it's about not letting our client hurt themselves and not overtraining them in our space, okay? They might spend 2 months in this space, then have a whole month of complete drop-off, or you might only do recovery. That's okay too. But when we're looking at a year's worth of training for a client, I look at off-season, developing new skills, making sure their muscles that they need for that particular movement stay strong. When they're on ramping up, I'm making sure that their fitness is up to snuff and that we don't allow them to hurt themselves with continuous movement of the same nature. So trying to offset the prime movement of their sport. When they're on season, it's all about not overtraining them and rehabbing them so they can keep performing at their best on season. And when they're having their rest, letting them bloody enjoy it and recovering them as best as I can to repeat the process for as long as they possibly can. The recovery is so important because every year I can keep that client in the sport is another year I can train them, another year they can train, and more money in your pocket. I'll leave a link in the description below on the graph of how you would do this stuff and a general summary of what we've talked about. But until next time, like, subscribe, reach out, help us help you, spread the word. Let's make a big difference.